Now, on this video, we're going to be working with properties of exponents. It's important that on your notes for this video, you have to have this information. So if you want to pause your video, make sure that you copy all those information when you post it to school. Product of powers, right? The properties of exponent. Let's start with the first one. Product of power property is going to say that if the bases are the same, we just add the exponent. So a to the m times a to n is equal to a to m plus n. If the power of a power, then that means that I'm going to multiply the exponent. So now I have a parenthesis, right? Hit this one, I don't have a parenthesis. This one I do, right? So I'm multiplying m times n. If I have the power of product property, so AB, that means that I'm going to apply that m to everything inside variables and numbers. The negative exponent property says that if I have a to the negative m, that's going to be the reciprocal. So if it's on the numerator, I'm going to bring it down positive to the denominator and the other way around. The zero exponent, anything to the zero is 1. Then the quotient of powers, if the bases are the same, again, the bases have to be the same, I'm going to subtract the exponents. And the power of a quotient property, the same as the multiplication, that m, I'm going to apply it to everything. Again, it not necessarily has to be variable, anything that is inside of the parentheses. Let's use those properties to simplify some exercise. So simplify. Your answer should contain only positive exponents. So if I have negative exponents, I'm not done. Also, we can only have one term, one variable of each with its corresponding exponent, but we cannot have y squared times y to the fifth because I haven't simplified. So in this case, I'm going to start by working with everything that is same term, right? The same. So the numbers, whole numbers or fraction, whatever numbers I have there, I'm going to still multiply it as always. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 times 2. 4 times 3 is 12 times 2 is 24. So 4 times 3 times 12 times 2 is 24. Now, I'm going to go next. I'm going to take my x. And my x, again, I'm multiplying. So I got an x to the negative 3, x to the negative 4, and x to 3. So that means that I have negative 3 plus negative 4 plus 3. And the y, again, I have negative 1 plus 3 plus negative 3. After I simplify that, the first one, negative 3 plus negative 7, negative 4 is negative 7, plus 3 is negative 4. And then the y, I got negative 1 plus 3 is 2, plus negative 3 is negative 1. Now, again, but it's telling me that only positive exponents. So what I'm going to do with that negative exponent is that I'm just going to bring it down. So my simplification here is going to be 24 divided by, again, this is going to come down to the denominator, and it's going to change sign, and then y the same. Exponents 1, once it becomes a 1, I don't have to write it. And that's my simplification of this exercise. Okay, next one. Again, I'm going to start by multiplying the numbers. So 2 times 4 is 8. Then I'm going to take a, 4 plus negative 2, and b, 3 plus 3. So that means that is 8 equals to 2, a squared, b, 6. Now I have this to the parentheses. So that means that I'm multiplying this times itself, right? So 2yx to the fourth times 2yx to the fourth. So that 2, I'm going to apply it to everything there. So I'm multiplying the 2 times the exponent. Remember that I have a 1 here and a 1 here. So 1 times 1 is square, then y square, and then I got x to the 8 because it's 2 times 4. So I got 4x8 y squared. And as you can see, I did rearrange the variables because I want to have the variables always in alphabetical order. Okay. Now, again, let's see this one. Again, it's going to be 2. I got a 1 here, so negative 2. X, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. 4 times negative 2 again is negative 8. As you can see, everything is negative. So I'm bringing down everything. So, but something has to say up there. So what I'm going to say is a 1 because I'm dividing, right, whenever I bring that down here. So that means that 2 squared x to the 8, y to the 8. And now I'm going to simplify that to square. So 4x, y 8. Okay, another way of remember that 1 is that I'm looking for the reciprocal of that. So that means that I have a 1 here. So when I flip that fraction, that 1 is going to go on top. Number 5. So again, I'm going to simplify like terms. So in this case, I'm going to have 2. Then the easiest way of working the variable on a division without having to deal with the negative numbers later is that I'm going to subtract wherever my highest exponent is. On the y, I don't have a highest exponent. It's 1 minus 1. Then I got the square, the x. I got the 2 on top. So I'm going to subtract 2 minus 1. Whenever I do that, I'm going to put first wherever I'm subtracting. So if I was subtracting on the denominator, I'm going to put first that number. You're going to see that on the next one. So this equals, don't forget that 3 right here. So that means that 2, y to the 0, x, and y to the 0 is, this is the same as 1. So 2 times 1 times x is 2x divided by 3. So again, keep in mind that unless I have parentheses, that 2 here only belongs to the m. So I'm not applying that 2 to the 4, it's just to the m. Again, unless I have parentheses, but in this case I don't. Again, I'm going to subtract the 4 and the 3. I cannot simplify them, so I'm going to start working with the m. And again, I'm going to make that subtraction wherever I have my highest exponent. That in this case is on the numerator. Then on the next one, I got the 3. The 3. Again, the m, remember that this m become that minus 1 here, so we're not going to put it again. I got the n. Now, n here has an exponent of 1. So my highest exponent with the n is 1. So I'm going to subtract down there. So I got n. I got n, 1 minus negative 3. So I got 4 m to the 1 divided by 3. And remember that this now negative times negative becomes a positive. So I got 1 plus 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. Next, number 7. When we have this, yeah, we can multiply first times 2, but it gets a little bit more confusing and you can miss stuff. So let's start by simplifying in here and keep that square at the, for the end. So I got here, and again, I'm going to start with m. Let's start with m. M has that highest exponent on the numerator, that is 3. So I got m, 3 minus negative 1. Then p, n. Let's go next with n. N has a highest exponent on the denominator. Don't forget that 2. So let's put that 2 here. N, 3 minus 1. Again, remember that we have a 1 here. And now, I can start by simplifying also. Remember that we have p squared and p cubed. So that means that down here, p squared and p cubed is the same as p to the 5th. So I got p to the 5th and minus 2. Again, the 5 is going to go first because my exponent of the denominator is higher than the numerator. That's why we're putting it down here. Then don't forget that square from here. That should stay there. So inside of my parentheses, I got m. Again, this becomes plus. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Divided by 2 n squared, p cubed, and everything is square. And now I'm going to apply that exponent. Remember that this one, it goes to everything. Everything that I have here, every single variable, every single number. To the exponent is going to be multiplied. Remember that again, we have a 1 here. So that means that this is m to the 8 divided by 2 squared, n to the 4th, p6. And at the end, I got 4 n squared, n 4th, p6. Again, let's start simplifying here. My first step that I can simplify, because you have a 2 and a 2 there, you can cancel it out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Right? I can also, so this one, there's a lot of things down here. Don't forget that you have another 2 over here. So I'm going to go this step, p to the fourth, and then I'm going to simplify my denominator. I'm going to bring that 2 to the front. Then I got m squared and m to the negative 4. So that's m, 2 plus negative 4. Then I have n, negative 1 plus negative 2. And then I have p, negative 4, negative 4 plus 4. Everything cubed. So that means that this is m cubed, p4 divided by 2, m squared, and negative 3. And then this, remember that this is 0, right? This is 0, so this becomes a 1, so we can cancel that out. Cube. Again, I'm still simplifying. I'm going to simplify wherever is my highest exponent. So for m is 3 minus 2, n is 3 minus negative 3. And then p to the fourth, we don't have where to combine it, and I'm going to keep that 2 here. So I get m to the 1, and 6, again, this is plus, and then p to the fourth divided by 2 cube. And now I'm going to apply that cube. So m cubed, 6 times 3 is 18, 4 times 3 is 12, and then 2 cubed. So my result here is m cubed, and 18 p12 divided by 2 cubed is the same as 8. Remember that 2 cubed is the same as 2 times 2 times 2. And that's it for this lesson. May the fourth be with you.